Okay, welcome to Masechet Terumot. Masechet Terumot, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Aleph. We're starting a new Masechta. Masechet Terumot deals with the laws, primarily deals with the laws of Terumah Gedola. Terumah Gedola, just to remind you, let's go. I have this incredible, this nice PowerPoint presentation, which I'm going to share with you, that I was lent, okay, by a colleague in Rehovot. And this is done by two students in Rehovot, former students, Surya Morachi and Rami Ezer. So just to look at the very beginning. Okay? So as we know, okay, we have our good farmer, and the farmer has to give Terumah Gedola to the Kohen. So let me move myself out of the way. Okay? So what does he give? According to this he gives 2%. And we're going to see why 2%. It's important to understand, though, that that's the din d'Rabbanan. The Rabbanan, we're going to see a Mishnah much later on, that says you have to give, the Chazal instituted between a 40th, a 50th, and a 60th. Meaning there was a range that Chazal gave. Midoraita, though, it's important to understand, Terumah Gedola. Terumah Gedola is the first thing that you give to the Kohen from your produce. You give to the Kohen. Midoraita, all you have to do is give him 1 grain. Nothing. A kol shehu. And then you're Mekayem deoraita. The 2% is only midorabanan. After that, okay, he gives Terumah Gedola. After that, he gives Maaser Rishon to the Levi. Maaser Rishon is a full tenth. That's Midoraita. He gives a full tenth to the Levi. So Midoraita, you have to give nothing to the Kohen almost. Not nothing, but a Kol Shehu. And Midoraita, the Levi gets a tenth. And then the last thing we're going to see here is that the Levi has to give what's called Trumat Maaser to the Kohen. He has to give Trumat Maaser to the Kohen. So he gives 1/10 of his produce, which is 1/100th of the original produce, to the Kohen. So the Kohen, once you add the 2% to Rabbanan and the 1% that he gets from Trumat Maaser, Midoraita, the Kohen ends up with 3% of the whole take, and the Levi ends up with 9%. Is it fair? I don't know if it's fair, but that's what it is. Okay, that's the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu designed it. Now, our Mishnah, okay, begins by not our Mishnah, the Psukim. There are many, many Psukim that talk about the idea of giving Truma. We're going to just give you a couple of them. Some are from Bamidbar Perek Yudchet. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Hashem says, Ani nidnei natati lechad mishmeret trumati. Hashem says to Aaron, I gave you mishmeret trumati, the guard of my truma. L'chol kachei b'nei Yisrael natatim l'moshcha u'levanecha l'chok olam. I gave you, the Kohanim, to the Jewish people, u'levanecha l'chok olam. I gave these gifts to you forever. And you get kodesh hakarashim, korbanot, okay, you and your children. And this is the part that's relevant to our Masechta. V'zelecha trumat matnam, and this is the truma of your gift. L'chol tinufot b'nei Yisrael, of the waving, zachan etatim, kol tahor b'beitecha yachlu, you have to be tahor to eat it. We're going to see that truma has to be eaten b'tahara. Truma has kedusha, it has ritual holiness. Kol chelev yitzar, the chelev yitzar is from the grain. V'chol chelev tirosh v'dagan, and wine and grain, okay? Chelev means the fat of, the best of. Reshitam, the first parts, asher yitnu la'Hashem, the first fruits that I give to God, I'm going to give it to you, the Kohanim. And with that, we're going to begin our Mishnah, and we'll see many of the halachot and from some of the psukim as we go through our study. Now, the Mishnah says the following. The Mishnah is going to tell us something very interesting. Truma isn't just I have a bunch and I take it off. It has to be given. It has to be a truma. V'harimotechem. You have to lift it up. Harim means to lift up, and from there they get the word truma. And then from there we have the word torim, litrom. Today torim means to donate. A truma is a donation. But it's from the word laharim, to lift up. So it says the Mishnah, chamisha lo yitromu. 5 kinds of people cannot designate truma. I.e., I have my kri, I have my warehouse, or I have this, I brought all my produce into the warehouse, and it's ready to give. Okay, so 5 people cannot designate im taru, and if they did take off, ein truma cham truma. The produce does not have the designation of truma. Who are they? Hacheresh, the deaf person. We're going to see all these people. This person did not have dat. Okay? Hashota, the person who is not of sound mind. Hakatan, a minor. Vatorem al she'eno shalo, and someone who takes off truma of something that doesn't belong to him. Okay? Let's read the Bartanura. Cheresh, Shota, Vakatan. All of them are from one pasuk, as it says. Daber el b'nei Yisrael v'yikhuli truma. This word is v'yikhuli truma. Just to note, this pasuk of v'yikhuli truma, fascinatingly enough, is from Shmo Chavhei. Okay? And actually, I was looking at Chavchet, because it says Chavchet. That's a typo. It's Chavhei. Okay? They should make me an offering. Me'ed kolish. This is actually not about Terumah. It was about Zoda Terumah Tichu Meitam, the Terumah that the Bnei Israel gave for the Mishkan in the desert. V'yichuli Terumah, but they learned from V'yichuli Terumah. It has to be taken with the proper intent. The person who gives it has to intend to give it, and that's what the Mishnah is learning from. Me'ed kol ish asher yidvenu libo el bnei Yisrael, to the Jewish people prat lenachri. We'll see in a second that excludes bnei Yisrael, excludes the non-Jew. Me'ed kol ish prat lekatan, excludes the minor. Asher yidvenu libo, who is moved by his heart, prat lecheresh v'shota, that excludes the deaf person and the not of sound mind, the mentally unsound. She'ein behem dat liot nodvim, that they don't have the proper dat. So that's what the Mishnah says. V'yichuli truma, it has to be given midat. Nochri shetaram, and the nochri is explicitly excluded. Shetaram etchel Yisrael, if he gave that which belongs to the Israel, afilu shebir shuf, even if the Jewish person gave him permission, ain't truma to truma, it's not truma. Afilu bir shuf means shal Yisrael, the Jew, asal Yisrael shlucho litrom. Okay, that the Jew made him a shliach, made him his representative. Ain't truma to truma, it's not truma. Dichtiv kain tarimu gam atem. So too you should be torim. Now this pasuk is referring to, okay. Let me see if I can find the pasuk. It's referring to the truma of the Leviim. Okay, when the Leviim are giving, they also have to give truma. Okay, v'nechshav lachem trumatchem, you have to give truma. Kain tarimu gam atem. Also, when the Leviim have to give, remember we saw they had to give maaser mina maaser. That's called trumat maaser, and it has to be done with machshava. It has to be done with the proper intent. So you too also have to give, and for this reason, gam l'rabba shluchachem. It includes their shliach. Ma'atem b'nei brit, just like you are Jews, you're people of the covenant, af shluchachem b'nei brit. So therefore, the truma, the giving of truma, isn't just designating, separating something from another thing. It has to be done with dat, and because it's an issue of kedusha, it has to be done with the kedusha of a Yisrael, an adult Jewish male or female, adult Jew who has the dat in order to designate it in the proper sense. So we already see that truma isn't just something that I took away. We always see that truma is something more, and it has to be designated as such in order for it to become truma. That's enough. We'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, if you're new, welcome to the Mishnah, to this program, and if not, we're glad to have you. As always, I'll dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. And if you have any questions or comments, always you can email me at arspolter@gmail.com. Have a great day.